Oh yeah, Black Sun in the Hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. Um, early show because I know y'all like. I know Black Sun got something to say about this right here, and I do. I definitely got to say so. Trump over the weekend, like, oh, Putin's cried to him for a long time. Putin's crazy. I don't know what's got into him. So I'm convinced now Trump is not getting all the information. He's not. They're isolating Trump from some of the operations going on in Kursk. So Vladimir Putin visited Kursk, and as Vladimir was visiting Kursk, there was a massive deployment of drones, and Putin was in a helicopter, and they tried to take the drones that basically had the drones fire at the helicopter. And so, quite naturally, as any human being would do, Putin retaliated. He retaliated. And so he shot into Kiev, being that Kiev has intelligence to know where Putin was at the time. And so, yeah, Putin went on ahead and fired. He went on ahead and fired into Kiev. So my take is that President Trump did not get the information of the situation that happened in Kiev, that being the drones firing at Putin, basically an attempted assassination on Putin. And so Trump only getting one side of the story, hopefully, somehow, because his administration seems to be divided on this whole Russia Ukraine situation. Um, you know, I've had some people tell me Marco Rubio, you know, he's a damn hawk. Of course, we got Lindsey Graham, we got Kellogg, these damn swamp creatures that Trump has in his administration. Well, not so much Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's part of the Senate, but, you know, he has threatened to impeach Trump if Trump doesn't go along with the deep state program of starting a war with Russia. Now, that's crazy. Starting a war with Russia is crazy. I've said this time and time again, but NATO is crazy because NATO will get European countries, Western European countries get blown off the map. And these Western European countries have a dependency on oil, and that being Russian oil. And this is why they're trying to get into Russia. They're trying to destabilize Russia so they can get into Russia and get that petrol that they need. They need that petrol, and they don't want to pay Putin or Russia for the petrol. They want to just go in there and wreak havoc. And Jesus, are you serious? And try to overtake Russia, which is not going to happen. You know, you would have to be crazy to think that you're going to goddamn go into Russia and strong arm them out of their resources and land. Not going to happen. So Trump apparently is not getting his information. He's not getting the information that he needs to make sound decisions. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. It just seems like he's not getting the information. Um, but he did say in a True Social post that he kind of lambasted Putin and he lambasted Zelensky. He basically says Zelensky needs to shut the fuck up. Okay, yeah, then he said he's gonna walk away from the deal. So you've been saying that, Mr. Trump, you're going to walk away, 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 man. Just walk away because you look crazy not walking away from this thing, man. Russia is not going to lose this war. So you talking about Putin is crazy? No, man. When you point the finger, you got three fingers pointing back there, man. Mr. Trump, you know that. Damn. Come on, Mr. Trump. You got to be very strategic. Or maybe he's being strategic. I don't know because I mean, he's got to know the information about damn Curse, about the attempted assassination on Putin. He's got to know that. He's got to know that. Yeah, that's a quite natural retaliation, and Putin is supposed to do that, and so he doesn't look weak among his people, weak amongst the Kremlin, weak among Medvedev. You know, Medvedev is the ex-president of Russia. Medvedev is like, yo, let's take goddamn Kiev and fucking let's go to war if we have to. You know, um, Sergei Lavrov is getting very impatient. I mean, Putin, and this is why I guess he's the leader because he has the most patience. Hell, he seemed to have more patience than goddamn Sergei Lavrov. And I like Sergei Lavrov a lot. But the thing that I'm just puzzled by is Trump's reaction in the media. But you know, it could be part of his strategy. I don't know. Bargaining. I don't know, man, because it's really hard to read Trump. Trump is making himself unreadable at this point, and you know, I, I remember when Trump said, you can't insult a person when you're trying to make a deal with a person, but then maybe this is his out to, you know what, Putin's crazy. All right, I'm out, but don't goddamn keep supporting goddamn Ukraine in the situation. Let Biden's, I know people say, oh, well, we still got weapons over there. Yeah, that's Biden's weapons still going over there. So that expires this month, June, or this is May, June. Yeah. I'm assuming, okay, let me just assume that the weapons that Biden signed off expires. Let's just go with that next month. And so, yeah, there should be no fresh rounds of money, of weapons supply, of nothing going over to Ukraine as soon as the Biden package expires or until it runs out. No, Trump should not go to Congress for any money going to Ukraine. Because MAGA's going to flip out, Martin Taylor Greene's going to flip out, we're all going to flip out. I'm going to flip out. Because it's like, no, man, stop supporting that war. Stop supporting that war. Stop supporting Zelensky. Stop supporting the Azov. Stop supporting them. Stop supporting goddamn NATO. Even though, yeah, we're in charge of NATO, but man, let NATO defend themselves at this point, man. Because it's like, no, bro, we can't get caught up in that. We cannot get Donald Trump. We cannot get caught up in NATO. We just can't. It is not in our best interest. I know you did the minerals deal and blah blah blah, man. At this point, it's like, no, we gonna send American troops over there? No, we better not, because we will lose. It will be another Vietnam situation. We will, goddamn, like, be another Afghanistan. We will lose terribly if we go over there. So again, Donald Trump freaking out, lambasting Putin over the damn bombing of Ukraine. Remember, Trump, this is a war. It's a war, number one, and those two countries are at war. Let it play out without our support, the way it's supposed to be. Russia is supposed to goddamn crush Ukraine because Ukraine was never supposed to never step to Russia. If you're going to step to Russia, they were already supposed to be armed to the teeth. They were already supposed to have supplies, being that they ain't had none of that. And they want to, oh, we're going to go into NATO. We want to be part of NATO. You know, that's a red line. You know, that was a red line. And so, yeah, they were provoked. They were provoked. And so, no, that's a no-go. You cannot, Donald Trump, support this war any longer. Let it be. Man, you should have walked away from this back in July. But I get it. You want to access the situation. You want to, let the arms, I get it. That Biden signed off. You got to let that flow. But end that shit. End that shit. Once Biden supplies are up, end it. Walk away. You will still be a great president, but you gotta walk away from this shit. Wanting to be a Nobel peacemaker, man, forget about that, man. Let Russians and the Ukrainians finish that war like God intended, and let goddamn Russia defeat them like God intended. It's just that simple. So, yeah, it's crazy that we keep sending supplies over there. That's what's crazy. When the Biden administration talking about, oh, to the last Ukrainian, that is crazy. Europe talking about, oh, we need to do this and that and the other to Russia, that is crazy. No, that is crazy. Let's get that straight, man. No, Russia is going to defeat. Uh, Russia is going to defeat Ukraine, and they're going to keep gaining more territory. And right now, take the deal, Ukraine, but they're crazy. They're not going to take the deal because they're crazy. Russia's offering, look, we just got the 4 territories. Don't let the 4 territories turn into 8. Don't let the 4 territories turn into 8. So there we have it. So I hope I hope Donald Trump replaces these swamp creatures, man, that is in his administration pushing for war, and get rid of these neocons, man. They got to be voted out. So with that being said, man, that's my first video for today. I got 2 more. Hopefully, I got 2 more. Oh, with that being said, I'm out, y'all. Peace.